What's going on, people, and welcome to Mando's Football. You're here with myself, Guni, and Mr. Johnny Minerals, as you can see, back by popular demand. And I'm not even lying, like the amount of people that have been saying, yo, part two, when's it coming? Like, you got to bring Johnny back on to deliver the minerals on the channel and that. Well, listen, people, here he is. Like, you can stop asking me now. Johnny, how you doing, my bro?
I'm good, mate. Obviously, thanks for having me on again. I enjoyed the first one, Gunny. I thought that was quality show. We spoke about a lot of good things, but I'm doing very well. I just come off my my own channel, doing a live call in, so forgive me if I'm a little bit lackluster. I won't be, but you know.
Yeah, no. Do you know what we're gonna?
Oh yeah, we haven't done that, have we? Oh wow, yes.
That's why I said we're just gonna dive straight into this one, bruv. Yeah, but big up the people them that's in the chat. Big up the peeps that have been waiting. Love to everybody that's in there. If you're new, smash up that subscribe button. Also smash that like button as well. You get me? But Johnny, the people them on the channel want to hear your thoughts on Lukaku, aka Mr. Cement Boots, as you have named him, leaving the club.
Let's have it right. Bowley's landed the minerals. That's what he's done with the gaffer. He's landed the damn minerals. And I am ecstatic. I'm so happy that this guy's left our football club. I cannot stress how happy I am. This for me is like signing a Neymar or a Declan Rice the way I feel. The way I feel. It's the most important thing that had to be done has now been done. And we can move on now as a football club without the cement boots in our lineup anymore. I'm so happy I don't have to watch this guy. This guy is the worst striker I've ever seen at our football club. I think he's the worst signing at our football club. I'm just happy he's gone, Gunny. I honestly didn't think it was going to happen like this quickly.
Yeah.
And this easy, but it's happened. And like that, you can't ask for anything more of Bowley and him proving to us as fans that he wants to back the manager.
That's a huge
really,
statement.
It's a big statement.
Before you go on, I wanted to ask you though, Johnny, are you in particularly bothered about the conditions of the loan and the fact that there isn't like a permanent buy option to buy him at the end of it?
From what I've heard, it could be a 2-year loan.
Okay.
We're not paying the wages, which is a huge thing because he's on like 440 grand a week.
Yeah, right? A lot of money.
He's actually on that. Yeah, he's on a lot of wedge. But if he does well there, and they've paid his wages for 2 seasons, that's all right. And if you can get anywhere like 40 million, it's not the best deal. It's not the most ideal situation. And he has sort of he's spanked us a little bit. Let's be real.
Yeah.
And Inter Milan have as well. But the most important thing's been done. And we did say we don't care how it's done, just do it. And they've done that. And I think they've done it in the best possible way. But yeah, I mean, ideally you'd like to make a bit more money, wouldn't you? Or get a larger loan fee.
100%.
But listen, I'm just happy he's gone because it means we can really plan and build on Tuchel ball and what his philosophy is and his style of play, because that is what is going to help us be dominant in the future and challenge for Premier League titles.
No, 100%. You know who else is gone as well, Johnny? Marina's out. And Bruce Buck is going to be following on the 30th of June. Bruv, listen, this week has been like music to our ears, bruv. Everything that we've been asking that we thought we wouldn't see within like a couple of years or whatever, it would take time, it's just gone. It's just like Todd's been on he's had his ears open. He's like, right, the fans are fucking pissed with Marina. They don't like Lukaku. Let's get him out of here. Now I'm joking.
Yeah.
That's not the entire case. They've made their own independent decisions. But I'm glad, I'm happy that, because I'm convinced that part of it is this. I'm happy that they've been able to see how she's conducting transfers, because I strongly believe there's a part of him or somebody on that team that said, nah, man, this can't run still. We can't be continuing like this, especially with the way that we're far behind. Because usually when we're still keeping up with everybody else, we're still slower than everyone else.
Yeah.
So now that we're even further behind and we're still moving at the same pace we used to move into, I think Todd stepped in and said, nah, it's got to be done. You got to go. And then obviously now we're hearing the whole Lukaku situation, Marina and Roman signing, even similar with Kounde, who we're going to come on to. But how do you feel about Marina leaving Chelsea, though?
Well, I said on your show last time, I said she had blood on her hands and she needs to wash it off. I think Bowley's washed it off for her. That's what I think. Yeah. And he showed her what the minerals is all about, because she majorly screwed up signing that player. And let's have it right, it was reported, like, obviously I don't really go by the brown envelopes too much. I'm not fond of them, but it's been reported that Marina and Petr Cech were trying to sort of force the agenda of giving Lukaku another fucking run for his money. No chance. It's not happening. Out the door, where you belong, you cement booted fraud. There's no going back. I did tell everyone, Guni, and I said this, after that documentary, there was no way back for this player. No way back. He will never be proper Chelsea. He'll never be a legend. What's the point in you sticking around when you've stunk our joint up? There's no point. But Marina has now knows that she tried that still, and that is concerning that she even tried that. Mm-hmm. You know, she even proposed that to Bowley to try and keep this guy for financial reasons. No, it's not about financial reasons. These just spent 4.25 billion on a football club. They're here to make noise and make a statement, and obviously they need to keep us fans sweet. And if they do that, what's the best way to do it? Is listen to the fans, and the fans didn't want Lukaku. They don't want him there. The real fans, they don't want him, you know. And we're so used to our club being run by the board and not like the coaching staff and the manager when it comes to decisions on personnel, that if that was the case under Roman, I strongly believe that Tuchel would eventually have got sacked.
100%.
Because he wouldn't have been able to. The only way you could get the best out of Lukaku is playing counter-attacking football, and that is against Tuchel's whole philosophy.
It's the diametric opposite, in it, like just completely north.
You might as well go give Levy a call and get Tottenham to get Tottenham to bring us Conte. You know, if you want to get the best out of one player, you know. So you're asking Tuchel to change his whole structure, whole philosophy to suit one player that told us that he's multifaceted and dimensional and he can play. He's played this system before. Waffle, bangers and mash waffle merchant, this guy. And I'm so happy he's out the club.
Same. I'm happy.
Blood pressure was high, Guni. I'm not gonna lie, mate. It was high with this guy.
Listen, I tried because you see me, especially if you're wearing a Chelsea shirt, right? Unless you super violate, I do try to give chances. And I tried to put that interview in the back of my mind, but I tell you what, Peter, what triggered me off. And it's the most random thing, and people are not even going to expect it. When he missed that header against Real Madrid, a piece of my brain said, you have got to fucking leave now. Yeah. I just said, you have got to go now. That's it. There's no coming back after that. But that was it. Like, for some people, be like, why at that point? But for me, it was just like, no, I can't take it no more. But before we do come on to, obviously, some of the targets that we do want to talk about, I did want to ask you, I've not asked nobody this question before, though. Let's say Roman and Marina and that had stayed for the next 10 years. Where do you think this club would have been?
I think, well, the vision and the direction was going, we want to use the best out of the academy and be self-sufficient. I don't think you would have had the blockbuster signings that Roman gave us for the first sort of like 10-year tenor, you know, of going out, flashing it, being big in the market all the time. I think the thing with Roman's era is when we were winning and at the top, they didn't go in and reinvest, so to speak, and sort of keep building on it. It's not about buying 3 or 4 players. It was about buying maybe 1 or 2, freshening it up a little bit, but the right quality. And they didn't do that. And they didn't do it under Marino. And that's why Marino left the first time. And the second time it happened, didn't do it. And he left. It didn't. Then you had Villas-Boas and Di Matteo come in and won it, and there was a lot of player power at Chelsea, and I don't think you're going to get the player power now.
Yeah.
You see, Lukaku. We go back to Lukaku, but Lukaku played on that player power role through the advice of his Rock Nation and his management and his agent, because they knew that's how Roman rolled. That's back in the day. Nice one, big up. Back in the day, even Terry spoke on how we were very vocal, and we sort of dictated, and if we didn't like the manager, and the manager just get the boot, and big up Stretford, then that's my guy. It would be that similar story, and that's why he kept getting managers in and out, in and out, in and out, and there was no stability, there was no progression, there's no real development. The vision was the model of the club. Mm-hmm. That was the vision of that. If you don't win, you're gone. And sometimes in football, most of the time, history will tell you in football, you do need foundations, you do need stability, you do need a good project if you want to dominate, like Fergie did back in the day. He was getting really shat on by the fans for a long period before he won that FA Cup to then kick on and build his dynasty. But he was on like literally one hair on his nutsack before going. But the people behind the scenes backed him. They believed in him. And
was it Mark Robbins that scored that goal that pretty much saved his career?
Yeah, I think it was
Mark Robbins. Yeah, I think it was.
Yeah. And that for me is, I feel under Tuchel now we can go that way. Manchester City are doing it with Pep, but you've got to understand Fergie built that team.
Yeah,
Pep's come into a rich club who've got everything throughout, and he's got already a quality team. And he just needed to make the right signings to play his philosophy of football, which is what they wanted to build upon. And they're reaping the rewards now. But first season Pep, what did he win, bruv? He didn't win anything. He didn't do anything. I think he came fourth. So what my point is, under Marina and Roman, for sure Tuchel would have been gone and we would start again, and it would have been the same thing for the next 10 years, in my opinion. I'm not saying we wouldn't win, but I don't think we would have dominated like we did when Roman first came in, is my point. I think we would have just gone like that, up and down. But the first periods under Roman, we were dominant, seriously dominant. Even when he changed the managers, he got Ancelotti in, he gets Conte in. Obviously, you had Mourinho twice. So they won titles, and we've got those Premier Leagues under our belt and in our cabinet. But after that, and we got Sarri in, it all just went a bit to pot. And the transfer ban killed us. People got to remember as well, as a Chelsea fan, we have been screwed over big time. All right? Yeah. Transfer ban killed us. We might have kept Sarri. Sarri might have stayed, because I saw towards the end of his reign that season, I felt like Sarri ball was kicking in a little bit. You started to see good football, and we were winning in one Europa League, blah, blah, blah. But we were losing Eden Hazard regardless. We lost Eden Hazard. Who would have Roman replaced him with? I'm not so sure. And would we have had the same story? So I think, the transfer ban killed us because we couldn't replace Hazard. Lamps comes in, does an incredible job. Big up Super Frank. And got us Champions League football, got us back on the map, because we weren't in Champions League, under Sarri, were we?
No.
I don't think we were.
No,
we weren't, were we? So, the main thing was that Lampard got top four and he'd done that, and then we could buy players, and then we get sanctioned, and it's like, it's just non-stop.
It's non-stop with Chelsea. Yeah, we just constantly going through it. But now we are able to buy players, and I have said earlier, we are a bit behind some of our rivals in terms of getting deals done. But me personally, I'm just holding on to the fact that there's still a lot of the window left to go. Ideally, it would have been better if we got our targets in by pre-season and then just got our business out of the way early, man. Like that season when we, we signed Cesc Fabregas and them, man. There, we had them all in the door early, ready to go for the season.
Opportunist signings, though.
Yeah, it's a fact. It's a fact. And we're gonna come on to the first one. Actually, obviously,
just go for it.
This one is kind of like the story of the day in terms of Chelsea making contact with the Ligt. I'm not even going to try and pronounce his first name. That's always been a bit of a mad one to me. I don't know how to pronounce that.
Matthias, I think. Matthias.
All right, we'll call him Matthias de Ligt. That's how I'm just
Matthias, I think it's Matthias. Yeah, you're right.
That's a good guess then, if that's the case, if it's Matthias.
You smashed it, mate.
Apparently, he is not happy at Juventus. He has let them know that he would like to be placed on the transfer list since they cannot resolve their contract issues. And I believe that is surrounding his release clause. He wants something in the region of, I think it was like 60 to 70 million euros. But obviously, Juve want way, way more than that. And he wasn't really standing for it. So there is an opportunity to get this guy. I want to start off by asking you, how do you feel about being linked with De Ligt before I give my thoughts?
I'm very happy with it. I think he's a quality player. I think he's a top player, young player still. I think, how old is he, Guni? 23?
22. He's a year younger than Kounde.
Yeah,
I think he is anyway.
Well, this is the thing. Signings like this excite me, like Kai Havertz, the young players that have got, I don't like saying high ceilings, but, they've got high hopes for these players. They've got huge potential. And he was dominant at Dutch league, but he was fantastic, especially in that Champions League run. Both footed, he looks like is he a lefty? I think he's a lefty. When I watched his clips, he does tackle a lot with his left foot. But then he plays with his right.
I'm not too sure.
But listen, for me, Guni, I'll be real. I would snap him up 100%. Snap him up. If you can get him for 70 million, that's a deal for me. Kounde's around that price as well, I think. So for me, they would take us to the next level from Rudiger and Christensen by far, miles. They're definitely. Plus, they give you longevity, and I think they're both built for the league.
Yeah.
Koulibaly was the other one sounded out instead of De Ligt. And Koulibaly, for me, has that Serie A tax. I'm not sure if he's, it's a slow league. He's going to come to a faster league. He's at an older age. He's like 32 or 31. He needs to adapt. Whereas I think the younger players will adapt better than the older players. I don't know. I always get that feeling with him. De Ligt, I want him. I'll be real. I wanted him for a while, actually. I think we tried to get him before he went.
Before he went Juve, yeah. Before he went Juve, everyone was.
And that would have been too early, I think. But now he's had the experience playing for a big team like Juve in Serie A. He's got experience of the Dutch league. Now he's got experience of Serie A league, and now he can come to the next step, which is the Premier League. And I think he wants to come to us. And I think Tuchel wants him. And if Tuchel wants him, I want him. Like I say to you, if Tuchel wants any player, I want them.
You're gonna back it, yeah. I mean, I'm also at the stage where, listen, whether I like the player or not, I might moan and cry a little bit, but at the end of the day, I'm still gonna trust my manager. Do you know what I mean? If that's who he wants, because we've seen him do wonders with players where we thought they were at the end of their career at Chelsea Football Club. Look at what he's turned them into. So I always bear that in the back of my mind. However, I'll be honest with you, Johnny. He wouldn't have been one of the first names on my list, Now, look, here's my concern with this whole situation. Is this an either-or situation with Kounde, or is it both? Because what we know, okay, cool. If it's both, I can live with that. I can live with that. Oh, we got some WWE style interruption. A new guest has joined the building. Can you lot guess who it is? I'll give you 5 seconds. It's Lewis. Too late. You lot were too slow. What
Yes,
my brother?
Come on, Lewis.
Yes, guys, you're telling me.
In the building, we're just in the middle of discussing Mr. M. De Ligt. I'm not going to go again because he's saying Matthias is the right way. I just don't want to mash up his name no more. So I'm just going to go with M. De Ligt. but I'm not too over infused by the thought of his signing.
How come?
Because listen, I hear what people are saying, the whole leadership thing, and the whole run with Ajax to the semi-finals and that. I just feel like in terms of his game, in terms of him being a pure defender, like in the box, I rate that. And ironically, that's the first thing that I judge on defenders. Can you fucking defend? Yeah. If the answer is yes, usually you're good to go. The other stuff around it, though, he's not great at, right? And those are secondary things. I get it, but the profile that I understood that Tuchel was looking at was supposed to be like the centre back who was kind of multifaceted all round. So, like for example, Joules Kounde, on the ball he's comfortable, defensively he's comfortable.
Yeah.
All of these kind of things there. So when I'm seeing targets like him, Bastoni, and these guys, they kind of fit the bill for me. You get me? So the Ligt for me was kind of it's one that was a bit of a curveball for me. I don't know if you lot understand what I'm saying. I'm not saying like he's a terrible player. I don't think he's a bad player, but he doesn't super excite me.
I don't know, because like he's got the leadership ticked off. Very good defensively. He's good on both feet, and I think he's great playing out the back as well, from what I've heard.
I've heard opposite though.
And he's got a young age too. Like I've heard there's some errors in his game, 100%. Like there's a few bozo moments in there, but that doesn't change the fact that you're not bad at playing out the back because you can get caught out a few times. Like David Luiz and Christensen, for example, both great at playing the ball out the back, but they were capable of their bozo moments too. Like they were culpable for a lot of errors at times, 100%. Doesn't take away from the ability though. And the Ligt's also coming at a young age, 23. So like he's got time to develop and grow into that role as well. So I think that would be a great move for us personally. It all depends on, again, price tag, wages, as always. But I think it'd be a great move.
I'm going to come on to that, but I'm going to start with his age first. And this is a question for the both of you, because we've lost a lot of experience in that back line. Doesn't that concern you? Especially if it's the fact that we're going for Joules Kounde and him, because now we're talking 22 and 23. That's replacing 29-year-old Rudiger, who's out the door. Obviously, Christensen not much older. He's out the door, and he had experience. You get me? And it's rumored that Aspi and Alonso are going to be out the door. That's a lot of experience that's leaving that back line. So I want to see what the both of you think about it.
I get it, but for me, like, age isn't experience. Age is... No, not age isn't experience. Experience is like just how many years have you played at the top level.
That, yeah.
He's played at the Eredivisie for a good couple years, captain, led the side, played in Serie A for a good few years as well. He's got like, what, 5 to 7 seasons worth of top flight experience? That's experience to me right there.
And I think he will also learn off Thiago Silva even more. I think Kounde will as well. I think Thiago Silva will play, like, I don't think you can play a back four with Thiago Silva, so predominantly will probably play the back three, and Thiago Silva will be the central player. But I think De Ligt and Kounde, have they got the minerals to play that centre role and the experience to play at centre role in a back three? I haven't seen them play in a back three. I don't know if De Ligt, did he play back three under Ten Hag? Or is it a back? I think it was a back four.
I'm sure they did for Juve though.
Juve alternate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
But you know, you're buying two players that are versatile. I think that you know, I'm sure they can play back three and back four. You wouldn't buy them otherwise, and Tuchel wouldn't even look at them. Let's be honest about it. But De Ligt, for me, he's got a lot of experience at a young age. He's got leadership qualities. I like him. I want him. I'd want him over Koulibaly. I think Koulibaly, you'll be looking another 2 years to buy a De Ligt player. So why wait when we're building anyway? Go and invest the money and get a player. So in a year's time, he's settled and we're ready to kick on with a player who, in my opinion, is... I think he's a quality player like De Ligt. I think he goes into... Listen, Man U... Oh, I'm surprised Ten Hag ain't knocking on the door for him because they got Maguire.
Because they're going to go for De Jong, and I see him as being more key to his style of play. So that's more understandable to me.
Well, he hasn't got anyone like De Jong, so he has to get De Jong. Whereas he might want to wait one more year for De Ligt, but by then I think we'll get him. And I think it's a case of both of them, Guni. I think you get Kounde and De Ligt. We need both, and for me, that is a blockbuster signing. Both positions for the areas that we need. I'm very happy with that. I mean, I'd be happy with Koulibaly as well. Don't get me wrong, but I think with Ligt, you just got that. You're buying that potential,
Yeah.
And I think we're only building anyway. So it's like, it's not, even Van Dijk, Van Dijk really hadn't done nothing before he went to Liverpool. He was at Celtic, wasn't he?
Celtic, then
And
Southampton.
then he went to Southampton, and that was a gamble. But he was an older player, but he didn't have the experience of Premier League, and he hit the ground running. I think it's all timing. It's bringing these players at the right time, and I think it's the right time to bring these two players into the mix of it now in our front line.
I think it's like I said before. What convinces me more than anything about this signing is the Tuchel factor. I trust him more than anybody. Whether it's a Neymar, Lewandowski, I don't care who he is. My trust will always be based on him. You see what I'm saying? But I want to kind of. I've got no basis to say this, but I'm just kind of trying to put two and two together. Maybe Lewis, you might agree with me or you might disagree with this little conspiracy theory here. But if we are really willing to spend 70 million on the Ligt, 60 or 70 million euros on Kounde, right? That's a lot of the transfer budget. Does that now, link to the other side of the field in the attack? Could that be a little clue that Dembele could actually be coming, regardless of the reports that have been coming out? Because let's have it right, as Johnny likes to say, still ain't signed the contract. There's 6 days left to go, and Barca apparently are not up in their terms.
Yeah, allegedly Barcelona aren't having any more negotiations with Dembele, and Dembele wants to stay, but it all depends on if Barca raise their offer. So they're in a stalemate. We ain't going to know until June the 30th, which is, I think, when Dembele is going to make his decision. And all just depends on then. But this is why I said we're not contending for the league title this season, because there's too much work to do. I don't think we have the resources or the money to get everything in.
Who even had that expectation?
You'd be surprised. There's some people who are saying, like, if we get all of our players in, there's no reason why we shouldn't be contending for the league title. And even if we could contend, we're not winning it, and we're not going to be in the race for the last 6 games to go. Full stop. 100%. Like, no chance. So, to me, like, if we can get, like, because also the money coming in depends on players coming out.
Yeah.
Kounde, I'm not so sure if it's likely, because that looks like it's more Marina's pick than it was Tuchel's from what's just come out today. So if the Ligt goes out, that's 70 million euros, about 60 million pounds. Sterling could be 35 to 40 as a base fee, and then Dembele on a free. Then you potentially get another defender in, like be it Koulibaly or something. I think Kimpembe was another one of Tuchel's picks because he can play on the left. Might be a little bit cheaper as a regard. You could get 2 defenders in, 2 attackers in before a player even goes out. And then we've got a lot of outgoings that need to be done as well. Jorginho and Kante have to re-sign, or they're going to get sold. So that'll be the midfields that get strengthened, but that will be done later on in the window. So as for right now, like, all depends on the likes of Ziyech and Werner as to how many more attackers come in. Because Sterling and Dembele will just come in as a base. But
the
Werner
problem
needs
is
to
you've got all these players getting thrown around 60, 70 million. Everyone. Sterling 70 million, De Ligt 70, 80 million, Kounde 70, 80 million, Rice 100 million. All of a sudden, every player we're looking at is 70, 60, 70 million. It's like, if we're being honest, Sterling's not a 70 million pound player.
I agree.
He's not.
I agree.
De Ligt, you're buying potential, and he's got a release clause. Kounde's got a release clause, so you can sort of understand that. Declan Rice is not a 130 million pound player.
He's definitely not.
So you're getting huge inflation on these price tags, that these clubs are valuing these players that they don't want to sell when the players really want to move on. So it's like, the only way you can sort of get that down, in my opinion, especially with Rice, he's got to force the move, and make it public. And a lot of these players don't want to do that, because then they just put all their eggs in one basket. If the deal falls through, then they're, and they have to stay at that football club the next season. They're in tricky water, aren't they? But I just think that we need to be very. It's all about timing of each deal. The timing of each deal is very important. You know, when you pounce to bring in a Sterling, and when you sell a player. So you've got rid of Lukaku, so that frees up the front three, or those front three positions, and you've got one less there. But you need to bring someone else in. Ziyech is a potential outer. You know, he could be going on. I think he should go.
That's looking almost certain, that one, isn't it?
Yeah. So he might be. You know, we've got players that it's hard at the minute to sell players than it is to buy. You know, it's a buyer's market. It's not a seller's market.
It's not sellers, 100%.
And therefore, you have to be tactile in how you get the players you want. So it might involve you doing a deal like with Ligt. I'm hearing Emerson, who we've been trying to get off the books for ages. They wouldn't even let us bring him back on a loan when we needed him in January. It could be a case that he goes with a Ligt deal, and that helps us financially. Ziyech could be part of another deal, and so on. You know, and then you're releasing players, and you've got loan players. So it can be done. It's just I think you're going to see a domino effect of once the first signing comes in, it's going to open up doors for the next one, the next one.
Yeah. So look, we can use that to move on to our next signing. We've touched on Raheem Sterling anyway. Pause. Didn't mean it that way. If there's people that are fast in the chat like that, had to throw the pause in there. But we have spoken about Raheem Sterling. 35 million base, quite rightly, like Lewis said, because there has to be add-ons. Still, because remember, Manchester City, we're forgetting that they bought him for £50 million and way back when. So they're still getting their bread back for him. So it's a decent piece of business for them, whichever way you look at it. Considering everything he's done for the club, it's a good piece of business for them. But I'll start with you, Lewis. On this, how are you feeling so far with Raheem Sterling being our first potential addition to that Chelsea attack?
I think it's a great addition for us personally. Second highest goal scorer for the last 3 or 4 of Man City's title-winning seasons. Instantly comes in and becomes our best forward. Instantly comes in and becomes our best dribbler, which will be very key to helping us unlock low blocks because we don't have any direct dribblers in the squad consistently. Great move for us. All that matters to me is like the wage structure and everything, and what he comes in. I don't care about if we have to sign him for 35 mil plus about 15-20 mil of add-ons, because those add-ons will be performance based, and if he reaches those targets, we won't care because he would have reached those targets.
Yeah,
exactly. I don't get the complaints on everyone. People saying he's Werner 2.0 and something. Please. Like, this guy's ball control, this guy's dribbling. Werner couldn't dream of having that level. Compare him to a Pulisic. Fair enough. He'll be more available. He'll be a more consistent finisher. Dribbling, you can have a debate about. Fair enough. Movement in and around the box, Sterling is clear. Probably out of all of our attackers. So, I don't get why people are turning their noses up at it. I think it's an amazing deal for us personally. In his prime as well, age 25, 26. He's thrived in a system where it's a team-based system, aka Guardiola, and he's also thrived at Liverpool, where the team has been based around him and has heavily relied on him to drag the team forward. So, I don't get how it doesn't work. Obviously, not just Sterling. We need more than just him, 100%. But Sterling comes in and he upgrades us and he improves us. So I don't get the question marks personally.
Well, I think you gotta understand, like I said on my show earlier, Lewis, is that Sterling's playing in like the best team in the country, and he's been playing in that Pep system around all quality players. Like every position, they are top. You know, he's not having that at Chelsea. He's going to come to Chelsea and be that, you know, big player for us, and it's a different.
But he was that at Liverpool.
Yeah, Liverpool was just breaking through.
Yeah, and at a young age, look what he was already doing. Look what he was already doing at 14, 15 at that team. He was carrying them.
Yeah, I know, but I just look. If the gaffer wants him, I'm fine with it. And I think he's a great addition. But for me, the most important thing's Declan Rice. I don't care what anyone says. You can buy Neymar, Dembele, Lewandowski, and all that shit, all right? But if you haven't got Declan Rice in that midfield, it's going to be the same situation with Jorginho and Kante and Kovacic in the middle of the park. The same problems. Low box, and you're going to have to put all the pressure on Sterling and Mason Mount again, game after game, and struggle, and then not taking our chances. And I don't want that.
Sterling and a creator means we're a lot better in
He's
terms
not
of
a creator, though. He's not a creator,
Sterling
is
he?
and a creator. And a creator.
Yeah,
we need more than just Sterling. I agree on that.
Shall I tell you who our main creator is? Our main creator is Mason Mount.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
that's who our main creator is.
That's a fact.
We don't struggle. The thing is, people talk about creation, but we don't struggle with creation.
It's finishing.
We create chances.
We do struggle with creation. We need to make more chances. Your problem is that we're relying on
over Kevin De Bruyne.
This is the thing, though.
At Manchester City, Kevin De Bruyne.
No, you're right and you're wrong on this, though, because you're right where Mason Mount is our best creator right now. You're wrong in the fact that we can't be relying on just Mason Mount.
No, I agree with that.
Creator. I know, but that's why you're right and you're wrong. Because you're right on Mount, but that's not the issue that we're talking about. We need more than just him. We need two creators.
But my thing is more than a creator, because with Mount and you have Declan Rice and you have Kovacic in there, you'll see a massive difference, Lewis. I guarantee it.
I think for midfield, we more need depth right now, or maybe get a player in if one of Jorginho, Kante leaves, then we need a starter. But right now, we need competition for those spots. And I've already said with Rice ain't leaving. Rice isn't going anywhere.
I hope he is. I hope he is. But just going back to that conversation on Sterling, I agree massively, Lewis. And I've said, bruv, Sterling being signed on his own, me personally, I'm putting that at a 6.5 max out of 10. You sign him alongside the Dembele now, that goes from that to an 8 out of 10, 8.5 out of 10 immediately, because now although you're getting your creators coming out from wide or whatever. In fact, he's not even just gonna stay there. You already know, like if he's in that squad, they're gonna just
Dembele, Sterling, one of Mount and Hazard, and we're cooking.
Chances are gonna come like this. And you see, I agree with Johnny where we say that we create chances. And now you see where I'm gonna agree with you, Lewis, is I think that we create chances, but it's the type of chances that we create. The quality of the chances we create is
or the amount.
Yeah, that's it. It's the quality of them chances.
That's down to the midfield. That's the midfield problem.
No, and the attack as well.
No, but
because we rely on the second 10 as well.
I'll give you an example, Lewis. Yeah, I'll give you an example. Like at the Real Madrid game, right, in the first leg, we were so slow at getting the ball out from the defense pivot out to the forwards when they're in the positions, and when they're out of positions or Real Madrid get back in the positions, the ball gets played out too slowly, and then we end up playing against a low block again, and that's the problem. When I watch Rice, his immediate thought when he gets the ball, forward, go, drive.
Yeah.
All right.
What? Someone to drive the ball.
I don't see that with Jorginho. I don't see it. And I don't see it. Because Kante's not good enough like that.
Because Jorginho is a sitting midfielder and Declan Rice is a box to box.
No, but that's the difference. When you watch Declan Rice, yeah, he picks up that ball and he drives and he plays it quick. Jorginho holds the ball too much, too slow. He is.
Because Jorginho isn't
and he hasn't got the long ball. He doesn't have the long ball.
Jorginho isn't a ball carrier. Jorginho's not a ball carrier. If you're talking about him driving the ball if you're talking about driving the ball from A to B, you're comparing Declan Rice to Kovacic and Kante and Loftus-Cheek. You're not comparing him to Jorginho because Jorginho doesn't play that game.
What do you think Rice is going to do? He's going to sit his knee.
Well, Rice is used as a box-to-box for West Ham, which is why it's even more confusing.
He's going to sit his knee. At us, he's going to sit because he can slot back into.
Us, he's going to sit. But what do we look at him at West Ham for? We look at his carries, his ball carries, his ball progressions, because you will compare him to the likes of Kante and Kovacic, not to Jorginho. They're not the same player.
He wants to play with Kante, Rice. He wants to play. He wants to play.
If Rice makes sense with anyone, he makes sense with Jorginho, not against.
I just feel like
Jorginho sits, Rice carries. That's what would make sense.
I've got this great stat. I mean, Jorginho's the slowest player in our team. And
yes,
if you're trying to get high ball recoveries, he's not the best at that. So when you have Georgie,
never
you need all the other
pace,
players.
though.
No, I know, but you need all the other players around him to do extra work. You know?
No, you don't. All you need is someone to roam around. That's it. Jorginho is in the right place for interceptions usually because of his reading of the game, which is why we've said that his pace doesn't matter because of his reading of the game.
Take that away. His distribution of the ball is too slow. I'm sorry. It is.
Fair enough, but that's the same for our whole team. That's not just Jorginho.
But he's the player that's meant to set the tempo. So if he's passing it slowly, what's our tempo? It's slow. What I'm saying is when Rice gets the ball, he's just out straight.
You could say Jorginho slows the tempo, but he's not the reason why Kovacic will take too many extra touches, or our 10s will take too many extra touches, or our wing-backs will take too many extra touches. If you have a problem with that, that's tactical, because the whole team is guilty of it. They all are.
I'll be real, Lewis. I don't think you'll win a Premier League with Jorginho.
They said the same thing about the Champions League with him.
No,
and he did it with leading tackles and interceptions.
For me, I knew we can win the Champions League with Jorginho, and we did. I know in Europe I ain't got a problem with Jorginho. I ain't got a problem with him. It's the Premier League. I think especially now he's getting older. I just don't think.
Yeah, but I think Jorginho's style of play doesn't go. I think Jorginho's style of play doesn't go down with age because you don't rely on his athleticism. If anything, you use his athleticism as his weakness. But that's why his style of play doesn't go down with age. He has never relied on it. He has relied on his reading and understanding of the game.
It's the transition from Georgie to the attack is not quick enough. And in Tuchel
you have to blame the whole midfield for that. I have questioned Kovacic.
He's the midfield.
I have questioned Kovacic, Loftus-Cheek and Kante's final ball for years. So it's not just Jorginho.
Right. So you said it there.
That is
Jorginho hasn't got a final ball. I'm sorry.
Jorginho just gets blamed for all of the midfield.
No. I'm gonna go through everyone. Jorginho hasn't got a ball. He can't fucking ping it left or right. Okay. He ain't no Fabregas. Yeah. He can't be doing that. All right. He's a short passer, metronome player. All right. And he needs players close to him. And that's what he needs. Yeah. Kovacic ain't got a long ball in him. He's technically exceptional, great at dribbling and progressing, but he's got no fucking final ball. All right. He can't shoot. All right. Kante, workhorse. I ain't going to diss Kante because Kante is an unbelievable baller. Yeah. And everyone knows that about Kante. But he's not, he's that player that cleans up. He's a cleaner. That's what he is. Yeah. Declan Rice.
Also carrier too.
True. Declan Rice scores from outside the box. He scores from inside the box. He carries the ball.
Need our DMs to score.
Listen to me. Left and right, he pings it. He's got a Rolls Royce pass, that kid. Yeah. No one in our team has got that pass from deep. No one. All right. And that's what Rice gives you. And by playing that long ball over the top and you're being pressed relentlessly by City and Liverpool, you cut out their whole press from one ball. And your Dembélés, your Sterlings, your Mounts can all
when you're playing against City and Liverpool, teams that won't sit deep against us will open up spaces in behind and actually give us a game.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is
that's not been our problem. That's not been our problem. Our problem's been the low block.
This season, Lewis, we were pegged back and we had no outlet.
Yeah, because we played the wrong formation in both games. It had nothing to do with the midfield
so we're going to blame
the
gaffer now.
It was the wrong tactics. You can question Tuchel.
He did have Mount for 2 games.
Up on this pedestal where we can never even criticize.
Yeah, but I'm not doing it at the expense of Jorginho, bruv.
The first game, right? What is the one common feature that we have always noticed with Chelsea v City? Whoever goes away from their normal tactics throws the game. When we played City in the FA Cup, they played 2 DMs. They didn't play a striker or something, and they threw the game. Then in the second game at the Etihad, they had this weird little 3-3-4 formation or whatever the fuck they played, and they threw that game away too. Champions League final, they played with no DM. They threw the game away. When they came to the Bridge, the game afterwards, we didn't play the 3-4-3. We played the 3-5-2, and we threw the game. So it was on us for going away from what we usually play as. The second game at the Etihad as well, completely the wrong lineup. Like I said, we put the worst front three out we possibly could have. It should not have been Ziyech, Pulisic and Lukaku. It should have been Havertz, Werner and Mount. And we didn't play any of the three.
He did that because he was under pressure playing that cement-booted fraud. So he had to play Lukaku. And the best way to get out of Lukaku is to play Ziyech. Right. Hold on. The best way to get anything out of that fucking useless lump of crap up front was to play Ziyech, bruv. That was the only way to get anything out of him. All right?
And again, and right and wrong.
Hold on, Lewis. Let me finish. Go on. In that game, we played counter-attacking football in that game, which suits both of them, and they both landed fuck all in that game. There was no minerals in that game at all. It was the worst performance I've seen us.
Again, right and wrong, because I do agree with you. To get the best, to get the best out of Lukaku, you need Ziyech. But to get the best out of them both isn't in a 3, it's in a 4. That's where you were still
playing. My point is, you were still playing a counter-attacking way. We were sitting back to counter City, and they couldn't even fucking do that. They couldn't even hold the ball.
Yeah, so we didn't have Jorginho in the team.
Get the ball, how are you
we didn't have Jorginho in that team at the Etihad. I've said, like, when you play without a sitter in a 2-man pivot, you're fucked because you just leave space in behind all the time. And we played 2 pressers instead of 2 sitters.
Listen, you can bring up all the lineups, and the bottom line is, Lewis, is Jorginho is not going to win you a Premier League, bruv.
I highly disagree. That's why Pep Guardiola was fucking on his knees begging for Jorginho to join.
Yeah, but
I agree with Johnny.
Pep's playing in a system
Guardiola
now
was begging for Jorginho.
No, but the system Pep plays suits Jorginho, bruv. It's a final piece for him.
Right, okay, so then you can win the league. So you can win the league with Jorginho then. Like, you've proven my point. You can win the league with Jorginho.
No, I never said that.
Well, you said he fits Pep's system, a title-winning system.
You don't know if he's going to deliver it with Pep. You don't know that. You can't say that. What, you think automatically Jorginho goes to City and they win the league? You can't say that.
Yes.
No, he doesn't.
They had just come off being Centurions, of course.
No, lads, man. Rodri is an athlete. Rodri's an athlete, bruv.
And they didn't want him over Jorginho. And why is that?
We got Jorginho because of Sarri. That's the only reason we got Jorginho.
Which is why we got him over City. But he was either going to City or he was going to Chelsea.
Lampard didn't want Jorginho. Lampard wanted to sell Jorginho.
Lampard had us in 9th place. I really couldn't care less.
And Tuchel has admitted he plays the back 3 because of Jorginho.
And Thiago Silva. Yeah, are we going to say we can't win the league without Thiago Silva then?
We can't play a back 4 with Jorginho.
He also said he made the system for Silva. Does that mean we can't win the league without Silva?
Well, Silva can only play a back 3. It's not rocket science. He's 37 years old.
What was he doing in a back 4 under Lampard then? Was he a fraud?
Well, we did. What
did Jorginho win the Euros in? Was it a 5 or a 4?
We didn't do very well. He's got Verratti next to him as well, didn't he? Verratti's
but Jorginho played more minutes than Verratti. Jorginho had the most minutes of the whole squad except for Donnarumma.
Yeah, he done well, but where was he in the fucking Euros? The qualifying for the World Cup? Where was Jorginho there? If you're going to say,
bad thing from him, but players have that.
I don't really want to get into a Jorginho debate because I know
we're already so into that.
I'm trying to put that to us.
You know what? My bottom line is I want Declan Rice, and Declan Rice, whether you like it or not, adds us all the attributes that we do not have in our current midfield, and that's a fact. That's a fact.
No, we're gonna
talk about midfield for 150 million bays.
We're gonna talk about Declan Rice in a sec. I just want to get through this super chat real quick. Big up yourself, Guled. Are we going to keep the magician Hakim Ziyech? I hope. It's looking very likely that he will be going over to AC Milan. That's the favored destination apparently, but I don't see him staying. In fact, let me ask the lads. Out of the attackers, realistically, which ones do you see going? And who would you like to see stay most out of the ones that have been linked with a move out?
Well, Lewis wants to sell everyone.
Yes, everybody, please. But it's not FIFA career mode, so I'm going to settle at Ziyech and one of Werner or Pulisic, but preferably Werner.
Yo, when you say everyone, is Havertz included in everyone?
Oh,
yes.
Yeah, of course he is.
Oh, nah.
See what I mean, Guni? This guy, Lewis, is having a laugh,
I have had a half an hour argument with Johnny about it, please. All I'm going to say is overhyped, as most overhyped player in our squad, and we move on from there. That's
overhyped, you know.
We're gonna
listen. Has 11 league goals in 2 years. I'm not having this debate. He's been outscored by Lacazette.
Lewis. Like I say to you, yeah, like I've mudded every fucking person when it comes to Minerals Mount. I'm gonna mud you with Kai Havertz, and I'm telling you now, when I see a
consistent run of form over 2 months, we can talk.
You don't really feel about Kai? Wow,
bro. Can you give me a consistent run of form lasting 2 months with Havertz, please? There we go. That's my problem.
How many goals did he have? Hold on a minute.
£72 million, by the way.
Did he not have one less goal than Lukaku, if I'm correct?
Yes, with double the minutes played in the league.
And you were propping Lukaku throughout the season.
Yeah, and Lukaku,
top goal scorer, blah, blah, blah.
Right, and
Lukaku, 1 goal behind.
Right, and Lukaku had half the minutes Havertz did in the league and was mentally checked out since January.
Half the minutes? I don't agree with that. Half the minutes.
Check the Premier League stats. He had half the minutes of Havertz and outscored him. And he's been mentally checked out since January.
Who did he score against?
Who? Fucking Lukaku.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Arsenal, Villa, Leeds, Wolves.
That's terrible, bruv.
Okay, Havertz scored against Liverpool in the bottom half of the table too, so.
But he scored against Liverpool. At least he's got one over there.
Great.
And he scored in Champions League and Club World Cup.
He scored 4 goals in the Champions League.
Yeah.
In for all teams, by the way, not just Chelsea.
Yeah, but that's more than Lukaku, isn't it?
Great. We're doing a trash v garbage argument.
It's not trash v garbage because you this is where I got pissed off you, Lewis, because you were propping that fucking rat. All right.
Because he had half the minutes and was still
over our young kid.
If you are mentally checked out,
if you are more at our football club than that guy's ever done, bruv. And I can't understand it.
If you are mentally
checked out, he's the last on the list.
If you are mentally checked out,
Kai Havertz and Mason Mount are the last on that list to go out the door, bruv. I'll tell you that.
If you are mentally checked out
Werner,
for half the season,
all fucking not good
and you're still our top goal scorer in all competitions, the rest of our attack is an embarrassment.
I don't care if he's top goal scorer.
Embarrassment.
He scored 8 goals or 7 goals in the Premier League.
That's why.
Lads,
why.
I got a couple super chats I got to read out, and then there's a tweet that I want to read out as well. That's quite interesting. But Ali is agreeing with Lewis, saying Havertz is 100% overhyped. This hurts my heart. I ain't gonna lie. I'm seeing bare Havertz is overrated. He's gonna prove a lot of you wrong. You know,
it's because the fans like moments, and I can respect that. But what I like is consistency. And when I see consistency, I will believe the hype.
But then what about this then, Lewis? The consistency Mount's been giving us for fucking 3 seasons, and everyone's giving him the more hate than any player in our team. Work that one out.
Mount has not been consistent in 3 seasons.
Yes, he's been our most consistent player.
He's performed in patches. He's performed in patches. Are you joking?
You're having a laugh, man.
He's performed in patches.
Oh, what? Jorginho's been our most consistent, yeah? You're going to tell me? Jorginho.
No, he wasn't consistent towards the end of this season.
Mason Mount has been our most consistent player throughout the whole
season. The only consistent players I've seen throughout an entire season has been Reece James this season.
He's hardly played.
He's not hardly played. He's been in and out of injury.
He's
not
been out
hardly
twice
played
this season.
He's played about half, 2/3 of the season. He's like half, 2/3 of the season, in my opinion. Reece James.
That's agenda. That's agenda driven. That's favoritism.
Reece James and Thiago Silva, probably the only 2 consistent players that we've had this season. That's it.
You are Lewis, from that statement, you're taking a piss, fella. You're taking a piss.
We can agree.
You're telling me that Reece James is more consistent than Mason Mount is taking the piss.
Yes, I am.
Piss, bruv.
Yes, I am.
No,
I am.
Yeah, I know you're taking the piss. You're trolling me.
I'm not taking the piss, bro.
All right, did he win player of the season? No.
What? It was fans player of the season.
29 goals. Did he get 29 goals and assists? Did he get 29 goals and assists? Reece James? No. So he's our most consistent player, is he?
As soon as I heard Mason's name, I knew this was going left. Hey,
no, Lewis is trolling, bruv, because there's every Chelsea fan knows that Mason Mount has been our most consistent player for the last 2.5 years.
He has not.
Let me get this. Let me read out this super chat. Big up yourself, Tobe Sadnia. I love the channel. Can't believe we're arguing for Jorginho in 2022. Lewis, love your football insight, but you're arguing for Jorginho against Kai. I don't think he's doing that. Two different positions, though.
My stance on Kai has been very simple. Show me consistency over a long period of time, and then maybe I'll listen to this generational argument. Until then, it's waffle. It's absolute waffle.
Well, this super chat is in support of what you're saying, Lewis. Thank you for your honesty. I love Kai, but in honesty, we hype him up too much. I don't want him to be sold, but I think he needs to up his game.
That's just it. I have not seen an improvement on Havertz since he joined us. That's just it. Show me improvement. Show me consistency.
How can you,
one team right now ain't good enough.
Lewis, you signed listen, Kai Havertz, we signed him, yeah? We were building. He was out for half the season with fucking COVID and all that shit, yeah? All right? He's coming to this season, new season, after winning the Champions League, and you go and sign a £100 million striker who fucks up everything that we got good going for our football club, and you expect Kai Havertz to give you consistency?
Yes, I expect consistency.
No, you can't, bro. That's ridiculous.
You played way more minutes.
That is just an agenda-driven argument now. I'm sorry. You cannot expect that. You've got to understand football and how players and how it works. It don't work like that. You bring in a £100 million player, he's starting. Kai Havertz doesn't get a run in. So how do you get consistency?
He did get a run in the number 10 position, which he's meant to be at his most natural.
I'll tell you when he had a run in, bruv. We went battered Norwich 7-0, then we won 4-0, and we won 2-0 and 3-0, and then we went for a period because we struggled.
Who was the only player that didn't play well in that 7-0 win?
No, but you're blaming Kai Havertz, and the thing is, what you got to understand is the deficiencies and the injuries in certain positions in our team affected the team, which will affect players like Kai Havertz. And that's where the consistency.
But your argument for the whole of last season was that we played better as a team when Havertz was in it.
Of course we do. Everyone knows that.
Right, so you just mudded your own argument.
Yeah, no, I didn't, because last season we didn't have all our wing backs out, did we? We didn't have Kovacic and Kante out.
In the first half of the season, we did. In the first half of the season, we didn't. Second half of the season, they were out.
First half of the season, Lukaku was playing. Kai was hardly playing.
No, he wasn't. He
was playing left or right. There's a difference.
Yeah, in the tens. In the tens position.
But you can't, in that system, you can't play really 2 10s. It don't work like that. You're going to play Mason Mount as that roaming 10 and in that front line.
It doesn't work like that. What do you mean it don't work like that?
In this system, it doesn't work.
Lads, I've got a question. Okay, so this is going to be down to the attack. But let me read this super chat first, actually. Double PL minutes, Kai, 1,816 and 8 goals with 3 assists. Lukaku, 1,586 and 8 goals.
Yeah, I can't lie. I googled that as well. That is actually correct. So it isn't actually half and half. Fair enough.
There's that. But
But yeah, I said top goal scorer in all competitions. All competitions. Okay.
So
maybe I had the numbers
right on. Right.
No wait. Maybe I had the minutes I had was like overall minutes. He's had double the minutes. Let me have a look quick. So 2.7 for Lukaku overall minutes in all competitions, and for Havertz it was 2.7 to 3.2. So it's like 500, 600 extra minutes. Either or. It's not that deep.
So it's not. Lukaku's not played half the minutes. Yeah.
Okay, but he's played significantly less minutes and still got more goals.
Not a lot though, really.
Yeah, definitely a lot. So we're talking about 600, 700. That's about 7-8 more games.
7-8 more games in a how many game season we've played?
Yes, and the guy's been mentally checked out half the season, and he's still our top goal scorer.
Mentally checked out? He done that on himself. Why are you making excuses?
It's not excuses. It's a fact.
Checked out.
Factually, he was mentally checked out. Not as an excuse, it's a fact. We saw the Di Marzio.
Why did he play, Lewis?
Why
did he play, Lewis? Because the board forced Tuchel to play him. So you're playing a mentally fucked up geezer in our front line, and you're come on, bruv. Listen.
My question isn't why did he play. The fact is, in spite of it, he was still our top goal scorer.
But my point is, when you play Lukaku, you can't play Kai, and you're not going to get consistency from Kai, and that's the bottom line.
Yes, you can.
No, you can't.
Creative number 10 and a striker.
Lewis, do I have to really go down this road, yeah?
Go down the road, let's walk.
I'll go down it, yeah? All right? Lukaku played 13 games, right? How many games in those 13 games did Kai Havertz play with Lukaku?
The game since the interview?
Yep.
None of them.
Right, there's your answer.
But at that point in the season, he had no justification to play because he ghosted the whole first half of the season.
No, that's bullshit. So, he didn't ghost. He did. He did not ghost.
Yes, he did.
We scored goals.
He was an absolute ghost the first half of the season.
The point is, Havertz cannot play with Lukaku. He didn't fucking play with him. All right. He just played a few games with this geezer. All right. And that is the point. So where is your consistency going to come to for Kai Havertz if he cannot play with Lukaku? Lukaku's starting every game.
But he could have played with Lukaku at the start of the season. It's my point. At the start of the season, when we were playing the same formation, Havertz was starting with Lukaku. The reason why he didn't after Christmas was because his form at the start of the season wasn't good enough to justify a place.
Yeah. Do you know why? Because they wanted to get the best out of Lukaku, mate, and you can't do that with Kai.
No, it's just Kai wasn't good enough. Don't blame Lukaku for Kai being poor in the first half of the season.
You cannot play Kai and Lukaku together. Fact. It doesn't work.
So, I'm saying don't blame Lukaku.
So what are you trying to shoehorn?
Don't blame Lukaku for Kai being poor in the first half of the season because there was a big 2-month period, right, where Lukaku was injured in October and November, and Havertz was playing in the middle, and he still didn't do anything, with or without Lukaku.
Yeah, I bet Jorginho was playing.
All right, lads.
It's Jorginho's fault now, isn't it?
I'm joking. I'm having a laugh, brother.
Hold on, lads. Let's take a time out from that one, and let's move on to this super chat real quick before I ask you lot my question, my last question before we do go, actually. Wow, Lewis, I respect you, but bro, if Kai goes, I'll have a heart attack. To think we played against Man City without Kai, wow, I think nightmare.
Bro, I won't have a heart attack if we lose any attacker. I'll be real with you.
Right. So now, but this is what's going to lead me on to my next question because it is tied to this and that. So, both of you, ideally, who would you like in that attack? Who would you like to see the start of the season with in that attack if we're playing a front three?
My dream one, which is a bit unlikely.
I mean, it's realistic as well with who's available in the window.
Quietly realistic because, I do think if we had the bollocks to make the move, maybe we could make it happen. But the dream one is Dembele, Sterling, Lewandowski.
100%.
Now, if Lewandowski can't come, which is a bit unlikely, I get he's got his heart set on Barcelona and everything.
Dream.
Yeah, that's the dream one. But if not them, then you go Sterling, Dembele, and one of Havertz and Mount. And that would be the front three we go with for the season.
So hold on. What formation is this? So you drop in Mount and Havertz then in this current?
It's formation? A 3-4-3. We're not changing from a 3 at the back.
Right. So you've just dropped Mount and Havertz.
One of Mount or Havertz. Yeah, I've said neither of them were consistent enough for me. So one of them.
You do understand Mount's not getting dropped, yeah?
Then Havertz is getting dropped.
So you're going to drop Havertz to play who? Sterling,
Dembele, and Mount. One or the other. Would you bench one of Sterling or Dembele in that position?
Who's yours, Johnny, first, so we can compare?
Well, I'm going to have Havertz as my number 9 because I don't think you need a number 9. I think you need a false 9 player. So Havertz is my number 9. If you're playing this front three, it's going to be Mount. And then for me, I'm having Dembele.
So no Sterling for you?
No. Well, that means you're not going to play Dembele. You're going to play. Well, you're not going to play Sterling as a false 9. You're not going to play Dembele as a false 9.
Done before. Sterling as a false nine has been done before.
Nah, bruv, you got no.
And you also got to remember this three, because of their pressing system and everything, they will interchange a lot too. Which is why I'm saying you can go for Sterling, Dembele, and one or Havertz and Mount because they will.
There's no way. I'm telling you now, like to play this front three. That's why I think it's Sterling or Dembele. If you're going to stick to the system, you're not going to go and get Sterling and Dembele. And
you gotta get both.
I don't know, but it's not possible to guarantee Sterling. Where are you going to play Mount, bruv? False nine.
Play Mount in one of the tens.
What
or
tens?
maybe
There are no tens.
You got you got the number 9, and then you got the 2 inside forwards, the 10s.
Yeah, but you got Sterling and Dembele.
Dembele there.
Yeah, Sterling and Dembele in those positions. Or you could push Sterling into the middle, and then you've got space for one Mount or Havertz.
Sterling ain't a false nine. When does he ever play false nine for City?
He has played as a false nine for City
Very
before.
rarely.
Yeah, because I think they've got better options in that regard.
I'm going to take a player from Man City
Sterling's at his better from the right-hand side
and put him over Kai Havertz, who is a false nine. That's ridiculous. I'm putting Kai Havertz up front. I'm having
is he
Mason
a false
Mount,
nine or is he a 10?
I'm having either a Dembele or a Sterling. Ideally on Dembele.
So then what happens with Mount if we're playing 3 at the back?
Mount's in the front 3, bruv.
You said Sterling, Dembele, and Havertz.
No, I said Havertz, Mount, and Dembele. I wouldn't have Sterling.
But
my point is,
if you buy Declan Rice, to warm the bench, you'll be surprised.
No, but if you buy Declan Rice, you can play Mount in the midfield 3, and that opens up Sterling, Dembele, Havertz.
Rice ain't coming, bro.
No, but that's the key. That's the key to unlocking us.
My front 3.
And on top of that, you can have Mason Mount push up into that, and you can have a 2-2 in front. You can go 4-2-2-2, which is what Tuchel loves. That's what he wants to play. So within the game, you're playing the back 3, the back 4, simultaneously, bro. And you've got that go into the back.
So with changing formations in and out of possession, then seems even more liable that you could play with fucking Mount, Dembele, and Sterling. Because I've already said Sterling comes in, he becomes our best forward. Just by default.
Our best forward. No, he's not our best forward.
By default, he's our best forward if he walks in.
I don't think he's our best forward. I don't think he'll be our best forward. I think. Do I think what?
Mount's better than Sterling.
Of course he is.
What about Dembele?
I think Dembele's better than Sterling.
Do you think Mount's better than Dembele?
I think Dembele is a actual winger, whereas Mount's not a winger.
Fair enough.
Sterling?
But if you put Mount in that position, which he has been for the last 2 seasons, he's been outperforming everyone. But I think Dembele elevates you. He adds something that Sterling doesn't have for me.
That's why I'm saying I think they both complement each other because
yeah,
Sterling, yes, he's hit and miss in front of goals, but he does get a good volume of goals. Now I know you're gonna say it's in that Man City team, brilliant team, creates a lot of opportunities, yes. But you see with Dembele, I haven't seen enough people talk about how creative he is off that wing. Like if you look at the second half of the season when he was playing at Barcelona, he was just assist, finding his man every single time. And one thing that we can all say that Sterling has that is very good is his movement. He can finds dangerous places in his sleep, but it's just his conversion rate in front of goal. It's decent, but he needs enough chances to get it.
Well, this is the thing, Guni. Yeah, I think
his conversion rate is still better than all of our forwards, by the way.
Yeah, but but he's playing at Manchester City, Lewis. Fucking hell.
Still means our best finisher,
you're going to get
inside and outside.
You get more chances, so you got more probability of scoring more goals. And he has.
Yeah, and Dembele will come in and we'll make more chances. Havertz
right. So my point is, in this front three, you lot are having Sterling, Dembele, and who up front? Havertz, yeah?
One of Havertz or Mount.
None of them are going to play false nine, bruv. None of them will play false nine apart from...
I know, but this is what I'm saying. I want my dream signing of Lewandowski, and my club needs to start
not going to come.
They need to start pushing to get this deal done.
Listen, Tuchel wants to go away from that striker, that mold of a striker. Yeah, he's going to build it around.
Get away from our strikers.
No. He's going to build around Kai Lewis. All right, I'm telling you now. And my thing is, if you buy Sterling and Dembele, where are you playing Mason Mount? Because Mason Mount is playing in this team. So
I've seen shouts of him being used as a CM, dropping further back.
Yeah, that's what I want Mount to be.
No, but he won't play in the double six. No, but he won't play in the double six.
But what if it's a 4-3? What in a 4-3-3 though? If you can play the three midfielders, would you be a fan of it?
But you can only do that with Declan Rice, Guni.
Facts.
Oh yeah, Manny. If you don't like facts, duck out, bruv. Please. But yeah, sorry about that, bro.
I'm saying Declan Rice unlocks us as a team to play Mount in the midfield in his orthodox position, which frees up 3 attacking positions where you can have Sterling, Havertz, Dembele, and you're balling, bruv. But you can't do that without Rice. You cannot do it with Jorginho, Kante, and Kovacic, and that's a fact. You cannot play them 3, bruv, and have and not play Mount.
We don't play with a 3; we play with a 2.
Yeah, I know we play with a 2, but you're gonna have to play Mount in that front 3 again for another season.
I don't know. Like personally, I'm looking at a 3-4-3, and if you're saying Havertz gets in straight away, then does Mount.
What?
If we're doing this, I already know I'm going to trigger you this, but I'm not trying to. If we're doing this, I don't want to do this, but if we're doing a 3-4-3 and you're doing Havertz, Dembele, and you're doing Sterling, and then you're doing a midfield too that like we haven't seen Mount playing consistently. He ain't getting in, bro.
No, but this is the thing, Lewis. And
I'm not saying this to rattle you. I'm being real, but we're trying to shoehorn Mount into this. And
but the gaffer ain't going to do that. The gaffer would never drop Mount.
I don't know, because to me, if I'm looking at the players in that team, either one of Mount or Havertz is coming out of that team.
Bruv, Mason Mount is undroppable.
Is he?
Yes, of course he is.
Listen,
I don't know. I only see.
Lewis, don't be silly here, bruv. Let's not talk nonsense, man.
I'm not. I don't rate none of our attackers. I rate Mount in an 8. As a 10, he's
played in the front 3 for the last 2 seasons, and he's been our best player for 2 seasons.
He's been our best attacker, which does
I don't want to see Mount. Mount will get dropped. No chance.
Our best player of the last 2 years has been Thiago Silva. Facts.
This is not facts.
It's facts.
It's not facts.
How is it not Thiago Silva?
Well, I'll tell you why.
I don't disagree.
Okay, Mason Mount is the glue of the team.
Arguably, you can say the same about Thiago, though, as well.
He's the glue in the defense.
Not Silva.
He's the glue. Thiago's the glue in the defense, but he's not the glue of the team. There's a difference.
Let me get through this tweet real quick. So, listen, I know how you feel about Johnny. Yeah, I'm not trying to wind you up here, but this is a tweet from ES Grimes. Last Chelsea mention, Chelsea offering Ziyech to Leeds United. Wow. In swap deal with Rafinha and Cash. Ziyech has refused AC Milan, waiting on Ten Hag. If not, he prefers a move to Nice or AS Monaco.
Let's try to go United. My
days. Monitoring so far. So Chelsea are only monitoring Richarlison so far. This is going to be the last topic, but what do you lot think about this?
Get rid of him. He's not a fucking magician. He's a Houdini himself, bruv. Get him out, bruv. And especially if he wants to fucking try and push a move to Man United. Sorry, man. Like, listen, he ain't good enough for Chelsea. I think United, it would be a good signing for them because Ten Hag will get the best out of him. But I'm sorry, he's a one-dimensional player like a lot of our forwards. And I'm happy for him to go. If we can get Rafinha for Ziyech, I am all for it. I'm all for it.
Ziyech waiting for United? That is mad. Yeah. I didn't think you'd actually think that would run through. No chance.
I'm just responding to Redneck Blue here. Why am I even typing and responding? He can hear me. I'm such a donut sometimes. You know when you just do stupid things. I'm typing to this.
You won a Zumi before the stream.
But I did actually. I won 2.
Yeah, and that's understandable, bro.
Hey, Redneck Blue, you already know this, but listen, if you'd come on earlier, you would have had your spot, my bro. I know you didn't know that we was on, but listen, definitely next time when Johnny's on, I'll have you on. But the only thing is there'll be rules. We can't be getting personal and cussing at each other here. We're gonna do it respectful. You get me? Not that you do that. I know the man them keep it respectful, but there will be those rules there. But
big up Alex. My guy.
we got to big up Alex all day long. But Richarlison, I'm not gonna lie to you. I had mixed emotions about that link. I don't think he's a bad player, but the level that I'm looking for at Chelsea Football Club, not really for me. Like, because again, it's like you were saying earlier, Lewis, bro. I'm not looking at the title next season, but what I am looking at is closing the gap. I'm actually looking at closing in on Liverpool before even thinking about Manchester City.
Yeah, I've just accepted City, just run with it.
Yeah, they are. It's a mad thing what's going on over there, and we've just got to accept it for what it is. But I want to see us with it in the 80-point gap, in the 80-point range. 80-point range has to be done by the end of next season. So let's just finish on that. Quick expectations at the end of the season. Don't give too detailed because obviously we don't know what other clubs have done in terms of business. But Johnny, let's start with you. What would you be happy with at the end of next season?
Champions League. I want the Champions League, bruv.
No trophy? Oh, what? You mean actually winning it or getting into the Champions League?
Winning it. I think Tuchel's got all the minerals to take us as a cup in cup competitions. I think he's exceptional, and I think if he gets the right players, because I know we're not going to win the league, I wouldn't write us off. It's hard to assess now because we don't know who's in and out. But there's going to be a lot of things happening at our football club now until the transfer window closes. And I think Tuchel, if he gets the right tools, we'll be up there with Man City and Liverpool. But I think in the cup competitions, we've got a better chance of actually winning silverware.
I agree.
So I think I wouldn't write us off in Champions League or FA Cups and Carabao Cups. I think we'll win. We can win those. I just don't think that the Premier League is one that we can win. Top four in the Premier League, and then obviously go for the big ear trophy as you would do. But I trust. Listen. I don't think people realise. Anyone doubting Thomas Tuchel, you need to question yourselves because this gaffer is real deal. He's got the minerals, and I think even if he gets the 6 players this season, I still think he'll have us up there. He had us up there at the start of this season, and he had all the Lukaku shit. He's not going to have any of that baggage going into this season. He's going to have a fresh, clean slate. He's going to have everyone behind him on the same page, and that's going to be dangerous for everyone else because what you do is you create that team spirit and that fighting mentality. He's looking at players, Richarlison, Rafinha. He loves the players like Mount and James. They've got a fight in them. Do you know what I'm saying? They've got that mentality, that Ligt, another one. Kounde's got a bit of shithousery about him. So he will instill that in them, a bit like Marino did, but obviously playing his way of playing. And I think we can be up there. I'm not going to say we're winning the league because, I don't know anything yet. Let's see who we sign.
Lewis?
Was this on Dembele?
No, not yet. We'll just do a few seconds on that because I do have to go soon. But I was just asking about sort of your very penciled in expectations because we haven't seen much business around other clubs. Well, entire business being done anyway. So
you said it perfectly, man. 80 points is what I'm kind of looking for. We got around 74, I think. I think that's what we got for last season. Yeah, I want us to try and get to around the early 80s. And I think that's a good stage for us to push forward from because
I'm looking at mid still.
Yeah, to contend for the title, you need 90 points as a minimum. I'm not asking for 90 points. If we get that, that's an unbelievable from season.
That's a title challenge, really.
Exactly.
If you're talking 90 points, it's a title challenge, 100%.
Past seasons, that's the title with record-breaking statistics, which just shows how much the standards have gone. So I don't mind if we don't get to that. You get me to around the 80 mark, cool. Because since Tuchel's first season, that's all we were looking at because we went. What was it? 1920, we had 66 points. And then 2021, I think we finished on 66 points again, or a point ahead on 67. Now we're at 74. You can see a bit of progress, even though it's not really the amount we're asking for. Now, keep building the progress, get me to the 80s. Once you get to the 80s, we can look towards the 90s. And that's where we should be contending for the title. So yeah, get me a domestic trophy as well. And I'm happy. We just need to learn to start winning again.
Same here. No, I got to agree. But I think both of you pretty fair with your expectations. Again, it is very, very early in the transfer window. So these are penciled in things. Like you can hold a proper conversation where you've seen where all the players have gone and whether teams have got their targets, etc. So we'll come back to that later on in the window. But just real quick before we do end this stream, are we going to overlook all of Dembele's injury record in a slow-paced La Liga? Availability is the best ability. Well, I'll say this it is a huge risk. His injury record can't really be ignored, but when you it's a high risk, high reward situation when it comes to Dembele, because if you've got him fit, the man's elite still. He could potentially be talking about one of the best players in the Premier League if he stays fit for 38 games. Well, for most of the season. You see what I'm saying? And he is the kind of
Guni, bruv. I just been triggered. Sorry, man. I just been triggered by something. Dembele, right? If it meant buying Dembele or Sterling, I want Dembele. Right?
1,000%. I'm taking him.
But there's another reason for saying that.
Because Dembele or Sterling, if you had to pick one. Sorry, I'll let you carry on,
Johnny. Dembele, 100%.
Johnny.
Right. So the reason I'm saying Dembele, especially, even more so, not because I think he's a better prospect and a better more than. I think they both offer different things, but Dembele for me is more important. Yeah, for us to play the way. Why am I going to go and benefit Manchester City so that they can go and get a fucking João Felix or someone like that? You got to understand, I don't want to help the team we're trying to compete and get to by taking their sloppy seconds
and improving it,
and then let them improve to the next level when we should be looking at players like that quality, which Felix, Dembele's, these types of players. That's what we should be looking to buy. And people got to understand Sterling is an opportunist signing, and he's proven and blah blah blah. But if it means we get him instead of Dembele, I'm not for that, because I don't want to strengthen. So he's usually going to go Arsenal's. That means that's two positions that they've got to fill, and the chance
get 100 million about Felix. There or thereabouts, about 100 million,
right? And that's 100 million for Felix. There's domino effects to this, so that's what I'm saying. We need to be very clever. Bowley has to be very clever how he tackles purchasing certain players at the right time, because buying a Sterling early helps City get in the player that they want, like a Felix, because Arsenal want to get their business done early. So if we can stall Sterling for a period and actually get Dembele in first, it means we're not in so desperation to go and get us, have to buy Sterling. Do you know what I'm saying? Sterling's like, I don't know what their plans are, but I just don't want to strengthen City by buying their players. And that sounds weird, but it will happen.
I hear you. And we know it's not just him they're going for, bruv, where they're going for Cucurella as well. And I've said to people 1,000 times, do not get it twisted. This De Jong brother is not going to Manchester United. I think he's going to the other side. If he goes to Manchester City, God forbid.
De Jong?
Yeah, I reckon City. 100%.
Do they need another midfielder?
Bro.
But
Lewis, but this is the question now, yeah? Because their expectations. But watch this. If they had an opportunity to sell Gundogan, right? And let's have it right, they'll get good money for him still. Yeah, they get rid of him. That's a space gone. Why wouldn't they bring in De Jong? Because that strengthens them as well.
Oh, he could be their David Silva.
That'll be payback for Ronaldo too.
Right.
Do you know what? As well, I'll say this. Right. This is why we don't let Billy Esther Gilmore go, because he's that Frankie De Jong type player.
I see what you mean in the similarities. I do see what you mean in type of similarities, like very good in tight spaces and that. I'd say De Jong when it comes to vision and passing accuracy. Obviously, De Jong is way ahead in his development. Remember, keyword there is development. He's way ahead. Does Billy have the tools to get there?
100%.
Yes, he can, but he's still got a long way to work. You get me? But that's not to say you can't get there. Lewis, what do you reckon?
Them signing De Jong is probably a fucking madness if that happens. I'm not fucking here for it, man. Them going to United and Ten Hag getting more Ajax players was bad enough. Like Man City, at the very least, like just doesn't change anything. Like it's what City with their massive armor has just added something else to their armor. Like, oh no, you weren't already scary enough. Like, fucking
Can they just get like sanctioned already, or just like can Cass just flipping do their court case on time and just not like miss it next time?
Man, you know what? Out of all the fan bases, we're the last one to talk.
I know. It's absolutely shameless coming from you.
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is, fam. But based on, listen, we're gonna leave it at that, lads. I'll start with you, Johnny. What have you got coming up on your channel, or what have you already put up on the channel so you can plug to the peoples?
Yeah, so nice one, Guni. So I've obviously launched my channel. I've done a debut stream, which is a couple of days ago, and today I did a live calling stream. Lewis was on there as well, and we had guests come on, and I'm going to make that a regular thing on Fridays, I think. But I'll just be putting out I'm going to be doing it as it comes, and when I feel like I want to vent out, that's when I'll make streams. But yeah, if you can like and subscribe on my channel, and comment in it, that will really help it grow. And obviously, big up Guni for having me on, because that helps me, and I will get Guni on my channel as well, and that'll be a good one as well.
I'm putting up your
just to say as well. Comments. You see Lukaku's Instagram. He's taken an Insta video in Italy, and he said vibes different. I just seen it pop up on the timeline.
Once a rat, always a rat.
Just wanted to drop that in quickly.
I'm gonna put up that is Johnny's YouTube channel right there in the comments, so make sure you do give
nice one, Guni.
Lewis, what have you got coming up, or what have you posted up already? Just let the peoples know.
Yeah, guys, 2:30 to 3 p.m. or I think that's like 8 a.m. American time. 5 hours. Yeah, around abouts. We usually do streams daily, going and talking about Chelsea news. So check that out. Gonna have a weekly show with Johnny lined up as well. Just got to sort out a name for it or something, and then we're gonna launch that next week. So check it out too. But yeah, Carefree Lewis G on all socials. Big up Guni for having me on as well. We'll get you on the stream as well. It's been way too long.
Man. Come on,
yeah,
man.
Big up, man.
Yeah, man. Thanks to both of you lot for joining in on the channel. Obviously, you lot are more than welcome to come on here anytime you want. Get me? We love having you both on. Johnny, big up yourself as well, man. I can see you're going to smash it in this YouTube thing as well. Just keep up with it. Lewis, already one of the Chelsea goats. I don't need to say much else about the brother. You already know where to find him. As for what's going on this channel, I've got to ask you lot, make sure if you are new, you hit that subscribe button. Also, as well, smash that like button as well. And if you're watching after the live, leave your thoughts down there in the comments. And as the news comes out in the transfer window, because you lot know that I'm not too much into recycling the same story. But when we get like new or sort of breaking news things, that's when you're going to see me a bit more. But wherever people, I got my line wrong. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, big up yourselves, man.